The views and opinions presented in this media format don't reflect the views and opinions of Gracie NEPA as a whole. This broadcast is meant for entertainment purposes only and is the product of two idiots with microphones and far too much time on their hands. If you are easily offended, this podcast probably isn't for you. In addition, the content herein contains loud noises, adult humor, and language not suitable for children and most adults. Also, the opinions expressed herein are not intended for legal, medical, or financial advice. We are not experts, although we play them on TV. Void where prohibited. Batteries not included. No purchase necessary to win. Open to all legal residents 18 years or older in the continental U.S. Dealer participation may affect actual costs. Hosts are not responsible for personal items left in your car while listening to this or any other broadcast. This broadcast has zero cash value and should remain frozen until ready for use. Also, it should not be used by pregnant or nursing women and has been known to cause violent outbursts in lab animals. In case of ingestion, induce vomiting, and remember, these are professional drivers on a closed course. Do not attempt this at home. Serious penalty for early withdrawal and not a member of the FDIC.
All right, episode 3, low-hanging fruit. A lot on the plate. A lot on the plate. Start with UFC? Or
Yes.
start with 8-man bracket? Which one we start?
No, UFC.
Start with UFC.
UFC and UFC news.
All right.
Okay, so first we will break down UFC 223, Rose versus Joanna, and Khabib versus Tony Ferguson. I mean, Max Holloway. I mean, Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
I mean, I win for that?
Yeah.
Question mark?
Absolutely.
All right. So yeah, this card is the most cursed thing ever running.
It was a WWE event, which we're going to get to later with Mr. Ruggles.
Yeah, we're later.
But this was a WWE
What
event.
the fuck, UFC? This got crazier as the week went. I was...
Let's start at the beginning of the week and end with the fights.
Okay,
Let's do it that
so we
way.
have Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
First off, Tony Ferguson gets injured.
In a street fight with a banana peel.
Basically. A fucking cable, a wire. He trips over a wire and fucking... But here's the thing.
Oh, God.
Tony Ferguson... it happens, they make the announcement on Sunday,
April Fool's Day.
April Fool's. Okay, so that's already a fucking what the fuck moment. Then by the end of that day, Max Holloway is named as it.
Which I was excited
Which
for.
is an amazing matchup. Because the possibilities moving forward, and Conor is always in the mix. If we're talking UFC, we're talking Conor,
Right.
of course. If you don't like it, you don't like the UFC, because that's what it is. He
It
is what
is,
it is.
yeah.
So you have, it's very interesting. Khabib beats Max, 155 champ. Fuck you, I'm the real 155
Right.
champ. Holloway wins. Now he's the
the
youngest
champ.
active double champ. Fuck you, I'm the real double champ. So it's a beautiful marketing scheme.
Yeah.
Beautiful. We get to the weigh-ins. Max Holloway cannot make weight.
Right.
So
Not even close, right? Like, it was not. I don't even know.
Well, I think what happened.
Or no, they said, the doctor said they didn't like the look of him. Or
right.
something,
He
whatever it was.
yes.
Yeah.
Which was crazy because the reason why I think they went with the 145 guy because he should have been close to him in a weight.
Yeah.
Right. It's a weight class below. So even if he's heavy, he could still most likely cut to 55. He's got a 10 pound window.
Yeah.
So obviously a lot of the 155ers were 180 when they got that car.
Right.
It was impossible for
Yeah.
them to get down. There was a bunch of guys who said they would have, or they just
Ortega.
couldn't. Ortega said he could have and would have. He's a 45er.
Yeah, he said
he
he
doesn't
could've,
he doesn't
would've,
cut
right.
much. He
Right.
would have been ready.
Yeah.
Which would have been a
Would
really
have been
nice
awesome
fight.
too. Yeah. I would have liked that. Yeah.
But Max couldn't make it. The doctors say no, and then we're left with Khabib, Iaquinta, the 11th
Well, I think
ranked.
Pettis was in there for a second.
Oh,
too.
I forgot. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
shit, Anthony Pettis.
For like a second.
For Anthony Pettis, he said,
Yeah.
but Anthony Pettis wanted more money.
Right. He
So
said, I think he said
negotiate.
$1 million.
Yeah.
I think he was like, I want $1 million.
Which is
You
that, is
know,
that
like-
crazy talk for fucking going in there and getting beat to death by a fucking crazy Russian? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I'm going to save your card. I'm going to save your show.
Yeah.
And then we wound up with Iaquinta, which I
Iaquinta.
guess we'll come back and talk about the fight later. But that's ultimately what the card
Stacked up.
stacked up to be.
Okay.
In the wake of
The weigh-ins.
the weigh-ins, we had Conor McGregor madness,
Conor McGregor fucking.
which stemmed from Khabib madness.
Well, Khabib stepped in that line. I mean, he cornered his homie and
Right.
kind of got in his face.
Yeah.
My thing
Cornered
though,
Lobov and was like, talk
Yeah.
shit to me now.
Yeah.
Well, he was back with
all his homies.
a dozen goons, you
Right.
know.
So that I get it, but where was Lobov's? He had no homies.
I don't think there was any homies with him at the
But
time.
what the fuck?
You
Where's your squad?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're running with Connor, he can't afford. You get Gunnar Nelson. Nobody. I mean, somebody.
I don't know. I mean, I saw the video, and he was in his face, and he,
Yeah, it
gave
was
him
a little
bitch,
aggressive.
little tap on the back
Right,
of the head or something.
right.
And Connor loads up the fucking G5 and flies over from Ireland with a group, which is gangster, by the way.
Which is a gang.
That
Yeah.
is gangster. Like, I mean, like now everything is so PC, but
Yes.
I've done that, and I've done that pretty recently. There was an incident
I do remember
a couple of years, like maybe 2 years ago, where you tried to stand between me and a bat, and I was like, I'm going to bash some heads, and you were like, no, maybe you shouldn't do that, and I said, well, I can hit you with a bat, or you can move.
Yeah.
And so I get it, like it's gangster. Like somebody puts hands on your family, somebody puts hands on your crew, you go. It's that, but that's the era I grew up in. You know, now they go find a safe place and pet a puppy.
Yeah.
But that's what these guys are.
But my thing though with that is, in the street life, you have to do that because you got to get them when you can get them.
Got to get them. Yeah.
But you can. All you got to do is sign.
All you got to do is sign it down the line.
I mean, Connor.
Right.
All you got to do is sign it. It's not like Dana doesn't want you to fight Khabib.
Right.
It's not like I don't want you to fight. It's not like everybody. Who's the only guy who doesn't want to fight Khabib?
Connor.
You? Maybe.
Connor.
Maybe.
Yeah.
No. And to me that was a move too. I think he's posturing too much. I think by trying to go over, he's trying to out crazy
the crazy guy.
Yeah.
We talked about it with Ali and
Ali and Sonny Liston. Where Sonny Liston was this stone cold killer, and then Ali came in like a madman. He's just like, this guy's fucking crazy.
Nuts. Yeah.
So,
and I think that's what Connor did. I think there was some legitimacy to, hey, I want to street fight you right now. I'm going to do this. But I think he went, I'm going to go way beyond that.
Which though, let's just get this. I don't know what you want to call this, but Connor got in a private jet with a bunch of people without passports and stuff like that. Can you imagine if Khabib packed a plane full of Muslim Russians, right? Russian Muslims without passports and stormed a UFC event? My God.
Donald Trump would come running in waving a flag and an AR-16.
He actually went at Connor. He went at Connor. He goes, this fucking illegal immigrant working on a work visa.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he went hard.
Yeah, he did. It was
he's
always entertaining.
But you don't think of it like that, but Connor technically
violated international laws.
Yeah. Homeland Security had to get a call about Conor fucking McGregor.
I said that on my social media account. I said he violated international laws. Like, he's going to be lucky just to do fines, probation, and jail time.
But he's not going to get jail time.
Put him in fucking Gitmo. Let him get butt raped by some Muslims. Like,
but
there's probably a couple of Khabib's homies in Gitmo. And
I'm saying that's why I'm saying what would have been. I mean, Khabib did something like that. Baby, that would have been something crazy. But Conor does it. But it's Conor. That's what, and I think in the end, that's what it's going to be. It's Conor's Conor, and it's going to be, this was a
right, wrong, indifferent.
Right. I think if he had good lawyers, he goes, listen, this was a publicity stunt gone wrong. You know what I mean? Even if it wasn't, which
I don't think it wasn't.
A publicity stunt. Because here's the thing.
I think yes and no.
If it
I think it started that way.
Yeah.
And it went. It's like, hey, let's go out and get 2 beers.
Yeah.
And then. Before we know it, we're dancing on Coyote Ugly Bar.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube, and I think that's how it escalated.
It possibly, yeah. I mean, but here's the thing. This is good and bad because this is the beginning of. Because I've seen this a lot because I've lived through I've been blessed to. We're talking about wrestling later of the arc of the peak of wrestling into the watered down version of it. The NBA, I've seen the really great NBA, and now it's kind of, I feel, a watered down version because of the rules and the regulations and the PC, like you say, and all that. And I think we're about to see a turning in the UFC where it is becoming a very WWF
Yes.
promo
It
type.
sells.
Like they got the Kobe Covingtons, and the guys. They're always talking smack, and they're always trying to hype themselves, and they all want the money fight. And Connor's the guy who sets the tone. So if Connor, this is real as real can be. It's just him emotional, going crazy. He jumped on a 15-hour flight or wherever the hell he was. Maybe he was in Vegas. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Wherever he was. He was on a flight for hours, and he was still mad enough to do this. To me, I think it's a little bit of posturing and all that shit. But real or not real, from now on, we're going to see things like this.
Like this, yes.
And they're not going to be as genuine.
Yeah.
And I think the UFC, after they see what the effect of this and the WMEs, they're going to be like, hey man, can we get a little more of that Connor shit, whatever? Well, Connor doesn't want to do that stuff anymore. Okay, well, what about that Colby Covington kid? He's really controversial. Why doesn't he go and storm a training session and break a window or something? You know what I mean? Or we'll have them maybe not really fight, but we'll have them meet at a press signing for something. Start push and shove a little bit. And that'll really hype up the fight. We'll really talk about how they hate each other to where it used to be genuine, you know. And guys, in the end, but all in all the hype and shit, as long as the fight is real, you could say whatever you want, do whatever you want, because in the end, they gotta lock that cage, and it's gotta go down,
and that's it. And even within hours of that incident, Khabib went to social media, just crazy Russian, just looking dead in the camera.
Give me your location, tell me where. Yeah, give me your location.
Crazy.
We go in cage, out cage.
Crazy, I love it.
Chicken Man, #1 bullshit.
#1.
Okay.
Michael Kazia hurt. Gets
Casillas, right. Glass. Ray Board, glass in the eye.
Glass in the eye, right? So now he's got lawsuits. I actually saw people on social media saying, "Oh, they're playing the victim. They bitched up." Shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
You know, like this is how these guys feed their kids. You got glass in your eye, you can't feed your kid. You goddamn right, I'm gonna file charges and you know get milk for my baby.
And I don't think they want. They're not gonna file criminal charges against Conor. They're gonna file civil charges. They're
gonna file the criminal so that they can get the civil.
Right. Well, they'll go through the criminal process at first, just to get the settlement in the end.
Right.
But which is rightfully so. If you're gonna fucking endanger, what if that went through the window and fucking smashed he got hit in the head with it? I mean, I sound like a dad now. Like, what if somebody lost an eye?
And they said Rose almost got hurt in the attack.
Right. So
you would have had two main events gone.
Yeah.
Both of them main events would have been gone.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, it was bedlam. You know?
And then they had
fun to watch.
Reshuffle the whole. They had to reshuffle the whole deck.
Everything.
And then it turned out to be not that bad of a card.
I was happy with it.
Yeah.
I was happy with it.
But to me, this is another thing of New York, non-Madison Square Garden events are pointless.
Yes.
Because all of these New York events, the New York State Athletic Commission,
they
is a
are
fucking shit show. They're terrible. We've had too much controversy
Clowns.
in New York. Let's be done with it.
Yeah.
Fucking.
The New York Athletic Commission needs to get their shit together. You're clowns.
You're clowns. But that's what happens when you're one of the newest states to do MMA. You're on your newest stuff, you fuck up. So hopefully we learn from this, because whatever the State Athletic Commission, with not letting guys fight for this title, with not allowing it to be sanctioned for a title, where Khabib was the only guy who could win the title.
We won't sanction it. We won't recognize it.
Who
cares? Vegas is going to recognize it. Yeah. If Ayala Quinta, boom.
UFC became the #1 brand of fight combat without New York's help for fucking years. Yeah. You guys hopped on late.
Yeah.
We don't give a
shit.
shit.
Late to the party.
Yeah. Unless you're giving us Madison Square Garden, we shouldn't even be there. Barclays Center, fuck the Barclays Center. The Nets suck. You know, the Knicks suck too, but at least it's Madison Square Garden as far as fights go. It's hallowed ground. Like even the UFC, the one UFC they did have there was amazing. Yeah. So, well, let's get into
the fight. So Joe Lozon he led off the pay-per-view. I love Joe Lozon. You know, I think he holds the record with Diaz for win bonuses. Like an exciting fighter, but I think he's
fight of the night
bonuses. Yeah. But I think he's at the end of his career, and it's time to start considering, hey man, let's hang up the gloves.
And he's a smart guy.
He's smart.
He's a computer guy.
Like, and before he can't do any of that.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys out there who. There's a lot of guys out there that they can only make a living with their face getting punched.
Yes.
I think he's a guy who he could transition well if he's smart, and he is smart.
He is smart. He's intelligent. So let's consider another avenue for Joe Lozon. But man, going into that fight, I was pulling for him. I'm like, let's
Yeah.
break the record, go for it. But now I'm like, come on, dude, retire.
Yeah.
Just for your own safety.
I think a lot of these UFC guys would be smart to, especially if they come from a grappling background, to maybe go into the grappling route.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of money to be
A lot of
made
money
in
to
this
be
sport,
made
in
now,
the
yeah.
submission only.
Uh-huh.
He kind of got smoked in Metamoris by Dylan Dennis.
Yes.
Like smoked.
But he hadn't been. But he's been more MMA than he has been grappling.
And I think if he decided to do that and focus on that, I think he'd be great at it.
Yeah, I think he would be too.
And you don't have to,
sure.
and you can still be involved in the sport without having to, get beat and get knocked unconscious like he did.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean that was bad.
And he's had a couple of those over the past couple of years where you're like, ooh, man, or taking just beatings.
Yeah. He may have won, but he took a beating.
Too tough for his own good.
I mean, that's how you get fight night bonuses.
That's true.
You're in these
blood and
wars
guts.
Blood and guts. So we had Zabit versus Bochniak.
Zabit, what's his
Zabit, I can't pronounce it.
I don't know.
And here's the thing, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan couldn't pronounce it last night.
Yeah.
None of them could. They were just saying Zabit.
Yeah,
Zabit. You know, like.
But Zabit, another Dagestani.
Wow, dude, he's
Tough.
impressive.
Tough.
Like, how are you 6'2" and 145 or whatever the hell he is? Like, that's impressive. But his striking was complete.
Oh, everything was complete.
Everything
They say he's a phenomenal grappler.
Yeah,
he puts that on display a little bit.
Yep.
He got
Outside
a bunch
leg
of
trick.
takedowns.
Wrestling was great. You know, wrestling was really good.
Stand up smooth.
Stand up was smooth and everything. He was
but
impressive.
But Bochniak was a blood and guts guy, man.
Crazy.
He was getting outclassed for the first fight, round and a half to 2 rounds. But he never quit. The guy kept coming.
That last round, I was like, he's gonna win.
He might, yeah.
Because Zabit looked up at the clock, and then
he was faded.
Again, he looked up at the clock.
Yeah, that was a 5-round fight. We might be talking about it that kid.
Different
outcome.
Yeah.
He did enough in the first 2 rounds to get enough.
Yeah. And he won all 3 rounds. I mean,
yes.
But that Bochniak was the last 60 seconds. I was going, holy shit, he's gonna knock him out. Yeah. This is gonna happen. You know, and
the
so
pressure was on.
I was good. I thought that fight was awesome. You know?
Yeah, very impressive.
Very, very good. We talked briefly about the I don't even know how to pronounce his name, but the Maicano, the Brazilian kid. Yeah. With genetic freaky looks. You know, he's got good genes. Mom and dad are Brazilian supermodels or something, but. That dude's striking is legit. He's going to be somebody to watch. His last couple of fights have been good. Yeah. But he's going to be somebody to keep an eye on, over the next couple of fights and see what he does with it. But that Zabit, I think, is going to be. He's like young Anderson Silva. Like he might be the next Anderson Silva.
And he has offensive wrestling, which is also something that Anderson Silva never had. Conor McGregor never had. If you can be a fluid, dynamic striker and be able to take guys down at will. Damn, awesome. Yeah. You usually don't see that. You get one or the other. You get a guy who can not get taken down and strike like a motherfucker, or you get a guy who can just take you down at will, but if he gets stuck and has to stand a la Matt Hughes, he's a little too stiff up top, and he can't he can't get it done with his feet. Right. You know? Yeah. So
this guy's good. A couple other fights in there, but not important. Let's talk about me being right. Talk about me being right. Yeah. Rose versus.
Well, you said finish stuff.
I did say finish. I said finish, but
this was more impressive.
Rose wins.
To me, this was more impressive. I thought Rose looked extremely composed.
I think so too. I think the first fight was she won a spectacular fight. I think this fight she was a spectacular fighter. Like she was top to bottom. Just that good.
Yeah, she broke Joanna. Joanna, after the first couple rounds, when the bell rang, she was like patting her on the back and being like trying to make nice to her. Yep. And to me, that was if you just walk back to your corner, Joanna, I'm cool with that. But when you start trying to make nice with Rose,
right?
She broke it.
Yep.
Yeah, she broke you. Yep. You were the bully, and now you're like, oh yeah, I can't bully her anymore. So let me be nice to her. Yep. And. That's just how it goes, and she broke her. But my thing is, the interesting thing about Rose, she's not in her prime yet, but she's beatable by a lot of girls in that division. I think Claudia gives her a tough fight. I think there's a couple girls. The chick who fought Felice Herring would give her the other Polish girl.
And that's the thing. She's 25.
Yeah.
She's got 5 years of maturity to get through it, and at that point she'll be unstoppable.
But
Somebody's
I
got to
don't,
get her now.
No, I don't think she's unstoppable. I don't think she'll ever be unstoppable. I just think right now she has Joanna's number. I didn't see yesterday that, like, wow, Rose beats everybody. I just think she has her number, and she just cannot beat her.
Her grappling is good. Her angles are good. Everything, like, she's very just impressive.
Yeah.
She's
I'm
impressive.
and not saying that she's not, but I just don't think, like, she is going to be as dominant. You're going to see her get pushed and beaten or something along the lines by one of these other top contender girls.
Yeah. Well, she's always going to have good fights. So,
yeah.
I mean, we'll see. But in the end...
But in this one, though,
I was right.
Yeah, her angles were amazing. The left hook was landing all day. Joanna, though, I mean, I don't know. A lot of people were saying that
the leg kicks were good.
Yeah. But to me, the tone of the fight, you can feel the tone, and you can feel who was controlling it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a tug of war.
No.
It was a consistent, little by little, she kept taking until... I mean, Joanna came in...
And Joanna 3-4, and then Rose 5. I mean,
but the 3-4, though, weren't even that impressive.
Were like, barely...
Yes. But the 1 and 2s that were, like, she hit her with some rock.
Yeah.
Like, she rocked her with that left hook a couple of times.
Yes.
Yeah, she was way better.
Rose was impressive.
Very impressive.
Composed. Did enough.
Composed, and Joanna broke. I don't think she wanted it anymore.
Yep. No. She left the cage immediately after. Didn't stick around for the interview. Like, she was done. She went and cried. Yeah. For sure.
Did they Ronda her? Where she came from a background where she was very good.
Yeah.
Used what she came from, and had a kind of an easy go at it, where she was so dominant, so fast.
She was dominant, but I think she fought good fighters overall.
I think there was a better competition for Joanna than Ronda.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
But she went the Ronda route, where you tell yourself you're this shit's fucking pajamas.
Yep.
You know, and you get humbled.
Yep.
Heavy.
Years
twice.
Years later, you're wrestling Stephanie McMahon at WrestleMania.
For sure. You lose 2 in a row, and you never know. Joanna might be in, Polish WWE.
The Polish guys. We got one more to talk about.
Khabib first.
And
Iaquinta.
Iaquinta.
Which, first off, Iaquinta, balls for legendary stepping in there at such short notice.
1 day notice.
1 day notice against the toughest guy in the world, supposedly. And balls and heart, man. Because this fight...
It was a good fight.
It was a good fight.
Yeah.
Khabib controlled every round and every second of every round.
Yes. There was minor exchanges or whatever, but I mean...
Every second of every round.
Yeah, there was no joke. And, and I'm seeing people, they're posting on social media like, if Khabib fought that way against Holloway, he would have lost. If he fights that way against Conor, he's going to lose. But here's the thing, man. He had 4 opponent changes, right?
Right.
And if you're preparing for Tony Ferguson, you're concentrating on certain aspects of your game, whether defensively or offensively. And you're neglecting others because you're going, this is what I need for Ferguson, blah, blah, blah. Now ultimately you stick with what's best, right? You stick with what's ever best for you.
Yeah, I don't know though. I don't think his approach doesn't change. I don't think it matters who's in there.
Overall, no.
I mean
that's how every fighter is. Over even GSP, whatever. But you do prepare a certain game plan.
But I'm saying though,
and then you go, okay, forget that game plan.
But I'm saying if Conor is ready to fight Jose Aldo, and then 2 days before it's Khabib.
Right.
There's a huge difference of how I'm going to approach this fight.
Yeah.
Khabib fights Conor, fights Tony, fights fucking a bum in the alley. It's going to be...
It's going to be the same way?
Close the distance, single leg, double leg.
Yeah. I mean, I guess overall, but there's still things that you are going to work on.
My thing is,
this is what Ferguson does, so you're always going to be moving this way. Or
okay.
There's still
first off, though,
like
Iaquinta, world-class heart, not world-class at anything else.
No.
What does Conor do to him?
No. Conor destroys him. But, hey, again, listen. Khabib hit him hard. If he had hit Holloway that hard, Holloway's done.
It's true.
You know what I mean? He's done.
My thing, though, is...
It would have been a different fight with Holloway.
Well, I'm not even saying... The Holloway... That's not even real. Why are we... Ferguson...
Because it was on the table,
me
think
Tony Ferguson beats him. Tony Ferguson beats that
Absolutely.
Khabib.
Yeah, absolutely. We both picked Ferguson.
I think Tony
right, yeah.
beats him, and for that reason is Khabib has no finishability.
Right. I think there's holes in Khabib's game, and it's his inability to finish. Yeah.
And that's the thing, when you're talking about guys like Conor,
Right.
you talk guys about Max Holloway and Tony Ferguson, where they can finish guys in an instant.
Right.
It was the Anderson Silva thing with Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen won 4 rounds, 5.5 rounds. Almost 4 rounds, and he got finished. And then the second time around, he adjusted and he took Chael Sonnen out fast.
Right. Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's my thing is what I saw with Khabib is domination. And yes, sometimes you just gotta win the fucking fight.
Yeah.
You know, if he goes 35-0 now, he goes on a 10-fight win streak from this point on, and he's 20 wins in a row. Nobody's talking about the time he fucking laid on Alaquinta and jabbed his way to victory.
Right. Yeah.
But if he goes against Conor and he gets dusted in fucking 13 seconds because his boxing looks like shit, like it didn't look great yesterday.
No, that definitely didn't look great.
And against a guy like, and here's Alaquinta was training, his game plan changed. You want to talk about game plan? He's supposed to fight Paul Felder, which is basically going to be a kickboxing match.
Yes.
Alaquinta might, in his game plan, might have been like, I'm going to offensive wrestle. Right? Yeah. Now he goes to, all right, I was going to 1-2, work my hands, and get in, take a Paul Felder down, and put him on his back because he's not as dangerous there. He's not going to hit me with knees, elbows, and kicks from there.
Yep.
Now he goes, oh shit, I can't take this fucking guy down. I don't want to engage clinches with him. So now I have to defensive wrestle, and I only have my 1-2s.
Right.
Tony Ferguson's going to come in there with 1-2s, 3s, 10s, elbows, flying.
Ferguson would have won that fight.
You think so?
We both picked him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we both picked him.
I mean, I thought he had a chance, but after that performance, I think that a guy, and another thing, the guys always get taken down by Khabib. They're immediately fighting and wrestling to get back up. Yeah. Tony is going to chill in his guard.
Yeah,
and I think, and here's the thing too, I think Conor would conserve energy. Chad Mendes, he wasn't fighting to get up.
No, but Conor's ground game is like...
But how good, we don't know. Here's the thing about Conor. Conor is a world-class striker, right?
Yeah.
But he is a world-class athlete as well.
Right.
So if you give a world-class athlete specific attention and say I mean, he pushed Floyd Mayweather in boxing.
Did he though? Floyd carried him, and I mean that's a whole.
A little bit, but I'm saying though, but
Floyd carried him.
He didn't mean to get hit by that uppercut.
No, he didn't.
So for him to be able, because I heard guys say he won't land a punch on Floyd,
right.
And my thing is he landed a bunch of punches on Floyd.
He did. Yeah, he did.
And I think it took Floyd a little bit longer to get ready for him, or get used to him,
get used to the rhythm
than he thought.
Yeah. I just think Alaquinta maybe exposed Khabib for having some holes in his game. People are gonna.
In third, fourth round, Alaquinta was stuffing the single leg.
Right.
So now you say, Conor, we're gonna work single leg defense, and we're gonna work a switch knee or a fucking push kick, and that's the thing where you can change levels on Alaquinta. He wasn't throwing knees,
he wasn't throwing
uppercuts. He was throwing 1-2s, and they even stopped becoming 1-2s. They became 1s.
Yes.
Big twos.
Right.
So it became a very predictable rhythm, and he stood there with his face getting jabbed. I just think Alaquinta is a little bit too hard-headed. I don't think he was a quality opponent. I think, I don't know. As Khabib is, I don't know. We'll see. You're right though. With a lot of opponent changes and all that does play a part.
Yeah, but and the emotionalism of the week and everything. So,
but Conor's a whole different story because that's going to be the biggest fight in the history of fucking MMA if they decide to do it.
Yes.
But,
especially if it's in Russia or in real life.
It's a shame that Tony Ferguson will never get the chance to fight Khabib because I think he beats him.
I do too. Yeah, for sure. I do too. So
I think his ability to chill and pace himself from bottom is going to be the biggest difference. Because guys get taken down by Khabib and they panic and they start wrestling. And they start trying to wrestle him up top and he don't give a shit. He'll pot shot you.
Yeah. He wrestled a bear once when he was 9 or something.
But I don't think he wants guys to chill on their back, conserve energy, drop elbows on him and stuff like that. And I think Tony would absolutely do that, and I think Conor would conserve a little more energy. That's the thing. I don't
It'll be
know.
interesting. We'll see what happens with it,
But it's gonna be Connor.
but overall,
Am I right?
it's
Moving
gotta
forward,
be Connor. It's gotta be. Regardless,
with the
whatever
fucking melee.
whatever happens here happens. But
Yeah.
they'll figure it out. They'll get him back in the ring. Dana White's not gonna let his cash cow go.
Yeah.
You know, John Jones, crashed a car into a bus full of pregnant nuns.
Yeah.
And he came back. You know, come on.
Yeah.
Like, it's money, and that's what's gonna happen. So we'll see what happens. Overall, UFC 223 was entertaining.
Good. Entertaining.
Yeah, it was entertaining.
Khabib was Khabib, and Rose proved that it wasn't a fool. She was legit.
Yeah. So.
And a lot of young talent coming up.
A lot of good stuff coming up.
But also Khabib calling out GSP.
GSP? Yeah, we'll see. I don't think that happens.
Yeah, but what the fuck?
I don't think it happens.
But here's the thing. These fucking fighters, man.
They want to call out people that are going to make them money.
But they all talk shit on Conor.
I know.
Oh, Conor doesn't defend his belt. What, you think GSP's coming to 155?
Right.
You got the fuck.
Yeah.
I just want a little consistency in this world.
They all want big money matches, Yeah, I would just like a champion to defend his championship belt a few times and be over it. Yeah. Like the Hulkster, which we're going to get into. We're going to take a short break. We're going to bring in Mr. Dave Ruggles, and we're going to talk some WWE since it is WrestleMania weekend. So we'll be right back. All right, guys, back, and as you see, we brought in a special guest here, Mr. Dave Ruggles. And the reason we're bringing Dave in is it's WrestleMania weekend. WrestleMania weekend. Tonight, Sunday night, WrestleMania, and we had a lot of conversations about.
I think we bonded over.
Yeah,
I think it might have been love when we first were like.
It was like Rocky and Apollo running down the beach. We're like, oh, another fan.
Yeah, right.
With slightly more hugging.
Yeah,
just a little more hugging.
And he's the golden era guy.
Golden
big
era.
time.
Yeah,
That's
And that's my. I was golden era, but I'm more attitude. I love the attitude era.
At the Exeter gym, I think we have a lot of younger guys that are just like, look at Hulk Hogan like we'd look at like Lou Thez or Bruno Sammartino or somebody just like, oh, you actually remember that, so I agree. I think that era we have to kind of educate a little bit and kind of keep alive.
Yeah,
because
and I've been through the whole thing because I used to watch it with my grandmother, so it was like you said, Bruno Sammartino, George, those kind of guys, where I was like, what is this? You know? And then I was able to watch the Andres and the Hogans, and now, now I'm into the whole new, craziness of whatever. I don't even know what this is. The PC era.
I don't know what the hell this is.
It's the PG era.
But the PG era.
Yeah,
I'm actually like, as a fan,
PG
I'm actually like this, like hanging onto the cliff, like I don't know if I want to watch this anymore.
Here's the golden era was the athletic ability in wrestling as the main attraction, and it was just peaking with the theatrics. Then towards the Attitude Era, it became a little more theatrics, but the wrestling was still something that was to be held. Nowadays, I feel like the theatrics are way over, and the wrestling is terrible. And they're not even all steroided up. Right. At least back in the day when the Warrior would come in, his entrance was but his entrance was longer than his matches. He'd run around like a fucking madman, clothesline him twice, power bomb him, and get the fuck out of there in 35 seconds. But he looked like a fucking freak of nature. Don't give me CM Punk. What the fuck?
Daniel Bryan.
What the fuck?
You hit it right on the head too with the how the eras went. I feel like the 50s, 60s, 70s, it was like tried to put it was tried to put through as an actual sport. Like I was saying before, like the Gagnes and the Lou Theszes, the Harley Races, they looked at themselves as legit tough guys. And I think that hurts a bit now because back then you looked at those guys as the legit tough guys in the world. And now it kind of hurts in a bit where you're like, okay, we know you're a good performer, but if you go to the MMA or UFC, and I think that hurts a little bit of the credibility of it too. But back to what you were saying, I think it turned into 80s. The theatrics came to the forefront a little bit, but there was still a lot of it met. There were still the savages,
the rock and wrestling,
rock and wrestling. That when to tie it back with WrestleMania. That was the start of it.
That was the start of
it. Cindy Lauper, the whole Roddy Piper. Yeah.
And I don't even know what this one is. WrestleMania
34, I think we're saying, right?
35.
Was it 34 or 35? I thought
I'm not
34.
sure. It might be 34.
Which
I don't
is-
even
which
know
is
if
That's
it's
how
like-
little this fucking matters. But you said something interesting today. What would you went to see a trending topic on social
Oh yeah,
media?
well here's the thing now. This
WrestleMania still trending.
because Tyler and I talk about the golden era, the old days. It was a lot better then, which I truly feel that way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But that's apparently our opinion, because last night I was I didn't get the UFC pay-per-view,
Yeah.
so like I'll go on Twitter and see the updates from that Ariel Helwani and go just kind of get the tracker for it. And I went to the trending thing thinking I would just catch the UFC being number one. It was WWE the next thing.
Yeah.
You know, the
NXT,
next
yeah.
NXT, the NXT thing.
That's
they
like
caught
their
last
breeding
night.
ground, their farm.
So,
yeah.
which honestly, it seems pretty neat,
Mhm.
and it seems like they're going back old school or trying to with
That's
it.
what
from
they
I
do.
can
With the
understand.
NXT, they're cultivating the wrestling part of it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then they try to breed them up, and then they give them storylines. And
But it's
2 hours of story and an hour of wrestling.
Well,
Yeah.
well
Yeah.
here
Crazy
is
thing.
America, the man transition from what you were talking about. Back when wrestling has set the trend and for what the zeitgeist and the culture is in America as a man, I think.
For sure.
Back in when you were talking about the old days, when they were tough guys. They were tough guys, hard working, technical,
The Funk
didn't
Brothers.
talk
The Funk,
much,
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
talk much. Then we got into it where the morals and the theatrics, Hulk Hogan, say your prayers, eat your vitamins.
Flair,
But it was a positive. It was always like USA versus the bad guys and all that stuff. Then kids started to get a little more fucked up, and Stone Cold Steve Austin were giving the middle finger, drinking beers, and
It
now
reflected
we're
society, though.
it
It's a reflection of
reflects society.
society. It really
And now, what is wrestling? It's very confusing, and I feel it's the same way. Kids today are just fucking confused.
Yeah.
Is it Daniel Bryan? Is it John Cena? Is it CM Punk? Roman Reigns? Who gives a fuck?
Yep.
Go Rockers!
The women.
Bring back Legion of Doom!
Demolition.
Make wrestling great again!
Make wrestling great. Why?
Bring back The Rock!
Yeah. Can Trump do anything about making wrestling great again?
He seems like he seems like he's a wrestling fan
he was
today.
he was in that.
He was in WWE. Yeah.
He got his head. No,
WWE.
he shaved McMahon's head.
Let's go back.
Yes.
Let's go back. What we were talking about, that's why I was curious to see if it was WrestleMania 34 or 35, because if it was WrestleMania 34, that takes us back 30 years to WrestleMania 4, which, me personally, that I think is what got me into it, and that was at the Trump Plaza,
Oh,
WrestleMania
really?
4.
Yeah.
I think WrestleMania
Yeah.
4, WrestleMania 5 were at the
Yeah.
Trump Plaza back-to-back
Yeah.
years. And
Wow,
looking back, I mean, and that's what kind of, when you asked me to be a part of that, it got me thinking to when I got started into it.
Right.
And, sure, I could have looked back and said, oh, it wasn't WrestleMania 1. At 5 years old, I wasn't, even though when I was 7, 8, 9, 10, I looked back at it and thought it was cool. But what got me into it? And I remember going to, I think it might have been Price Chopper when they used to sell movies or you could rent movies there. And WrestleMania 4 had the double. Every WrestleMania you got was like the single thing. WrestleMania 4 was the double one. And looking back, I was like, that was 30
Kids
years
we
ago.
used to rent VHS.
Yeah, we had to rent that.
They were called VHS tapes. They were like this.
Yeah,
you know?
and I think
And you put them in, I don't know.
VCR.
Yeah, VCR.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the Nintendo for watching things. It's fucked up.
man, those were that. I mean, that's what got me into it. That WrestleMania 4, and we were talking about the theatrics and all that. I thought that era of wrestling was, and I think you could make the argument for. I know you love the Attitude Era in the mid to late '90s and everything, and I think a lot of people could. But I remember just the build up of WrestleMania 3. It was still like Andre Hogan was the big thing, and the Mega Powers were, like you were saying, the Rockers before. The Mega Powers were my favorite team. It was just like wow, the two. It was like literally the two greatest sports.
Yeah, Savage Hogan.
And the storyline, because there wasn't 12 pay-per-views a month, so pretty much they were able to build Savage Hogan as Hogan helping Savage win the tournament at WrestleMania 4. And then build the storyline and arc into WrestleMania 5, where like Hogan, was he or was he not flirting with Elizabeth, and was he, and God, and looking back at the time, you thought Hogan was just being a friend, but I think he was
scheming on the girl.
Yeah. So that's
as
me.
we found out from Bubba the Love Sponge 30 years later. He was
Oh
scheming
my!
on the girl.
That's a whole different.
That's a whole different
Hogan.
Wow.
But Hogan's survives it.
Yeah,
He
what
survived it.
what was Hogan
racist?
Warrior?
You could
He's a racist?
Yeah.
He's like the Teflon Don. He's just
He
going.
really is. Yeah. Remember Hogan Warrior
Oh,
at WrestleMania?
That was another great build-up.
Yeah.
you know?
That was the first time I thought that it was like two baby faces.
That
was where
yeah.
you, as a kid, you were like,
Didn't know who to root for.
do you root for?
Yeah.
It was not the old, but the consistent good guy in
Right.
Hogan, and then you had the Warrior, where he was maybe the first anti-hero kind of guy, where he straddled that line because he never took alliance too much with people. He was kind of a lone dog, and
He wasn't like begging the fans for
to
their
like
approval.
no,
yeah,
right. And
yeah.
but he didn't really team up with people either. Like he didn't extend. He did with Hogan. They did all those stuff, but he was kind of for his build up to that. He was just the guy who just
Mauled
was a maniac.
everybody,
Yeah,
yeah.
good, bad, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
He was just beating everybody.
Yeah.
The first Goldberg.
I was gonna say they followed
First
that
Goldberg, yeah.
later with
Yeah,
Goldberg. They
Goldberg,
did the
yeah.
same thing with
Oh,
him.
yeah.
You know, they said, hey man, it worked for Warrior.
That would be
That's
my
Goldberg.
moment. That would have been my moment. I think.
You were WrestleMania 6?
When I rented that tape. We didn't watch them live back then.
Yeah, we watched it at the CYC. They had it on closed circuit television.
That's right.
And everybody packed the CYC, and they had it on big screen, closed circuit. And I can remember us all sitting there and we're like, because you still at that point you still thought it was real.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, it's not real. Scripted. The gravity's real.
Yo,
It's scripted. Let's not say
the
it's not
pain
real,
is
but
real. When
the pain is real, but the outcomes are scripted. But at that time, we didn't know that as kids. We were like, what's going to happen? Is Hogan going to be Warrior? Like,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know?
that was my first heartbreak.
Yeah.
You know,
We
like
found out.
we all talk about like we're all BJ Penn fans.
Yeah.
And when he came
Yeah.
back and he was losing, it was so tough
Yep.
to take. And when he said he's coming back tougher, I always joked with you that I felt like the jolted girlfriend telling friends like, no, he's different
He's
this time,
different.
guys. He's different. But Penn was like my MMA heartbreak. Hogan Warrior was my wrestling heartbreak.
Yeah.
You know, 8 or 9 years old and seeing on VHS and Hogan losing was so
But if
tough
he was,
to take.
but if he was going to lose to anybody,
Well, were you a Hogan Warrior guy? You're
I'm-
still split.
I just don't know.
Yeah, you still don't know, right?
Well, but it's the
Yeah.
behind the scenes stuff made me dislike Warrior more because of some of the bullshit he pulled.
Yeah.
But
that stuff, it's
I don't know.
fine,
As a
you don't
kid,
know.
as
You know,
a
as a
kid,
kid, you're just like,
as a
yeah.
kid, I don't know, man. I
Yeah.
consistently liked Hogan more because he was more consistent.
Mhm.
But when Warrior was there, it was hard. It was hard not to. It's like the good wife versus that hot chick. You know what I mean? The hot chick's gonna leave you, and he did. Warrior, he died. Was there two of them? Was there? It was all those rumors back then. But he would come in and blow shit up for months, and then he would go away,
disappear,
and then
yeah.
you're like, wait, what the hell? He's gone for a year,
Yep.
and then you didn't know all the ins and outs of that. Him and the brass were
Right.
going at it,
Yeah.
but you were just like, what the fuck? And then you're like, oh well, Hogan's back. He's the best. You know.
And that was the what they call that kayfabe, right? Where it was like characters. Now because there's so much social media, you can't be
You
a
don't
character
care
anymore.
anymore,
Because
yeah.
there's so much exposure. Like,
Yeah.
Well, does that
You know.
bring up, we were talking before, like kind of like make wrestling great again? Could it be great again? Because
I don't know.
I don't think so because
social media
you know,
has killed wrestling.
Yeah.
and yeah.
It's
TMZ.
it's so fan driven now.
Yeah.
Like we said, Daniel Bryan. You would have never saw Daniel Bryan Attitude Era or pre.
But not be a champion of champions.
No, yeah, he'd be a jobber.
He'd be
you
a
know?
jobber. He'd be a
Uh,
low level. He'd be a
and
fucking
AJ
hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Right, and AJ Styles, right?
Yeah.
AJ Styles is like headlining WrestleMania. Like
Yeah.
you would never
No.
see these guys.
No.
but
He was
the
a Rob
fans
Van
would go to
Dam.
these local shows or non WWE events, New Japan Wrestling, and they're seeing these like guys who like, dude, that guy can wrestle. We want to see him, and and then Vince McMahon goes, well, I can make a mint off of this dude, so let's put him in there.
Well,
you know?
that kind of what sucks with wrestling now because I used to love, and Tyler and I will at our open mat Sunday we'll talk about not only WWF WWE, but I'll bring up what I love because I grew up. Everybody grew up WWF, but I also love NWA WCW because, and I used to love to me, Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat. Dusty Rhodes, those guys, you believed it even more than WWF. I felt it was like, okay, WWF, it's it's kind of real, but NWA is they're more real.
Well, what I felt at that time, this is like golden era kind of. This is like
Hogan.
We're talking Hogan,
yeah.
Savage, Warrior going up against Luger, Sting,
Yeah,
Flair.
yeah.
Right.
Rock,
Well, right.
yeah.
And to me, it was. WCW always had better quality wrestling,
Yeah.
from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Like their first match was the cruiserweights.
Especially in
and
that
then it was
time frame.
the Steiner brothers,
Yeah.
and then it was
Steiner.
They were my favorite.
Dean Malenko would come
Dean
out.
Malenko, a technician.
Yeah.
But their characters were not. They didn't. It wasn't
Yeah.
character driven.
Right.
And then you had fucking Hogan, who Hogan wouldn't wrestle unless it was a big fucking deal.
Right.
He
Yeah.
would come out and talk a bunch.
He'd wave the
But
flag.
but the theatrics would sell it, and the characters would sell
Well,
it a little more. And that's when. All right, we'll get back to that. But I'm saying building up towards when it was to me why I think the Attitude Era was the best was when WCW and WWF, they both
Went to
had
war.
a product that was where you were so torn on Monday night because you didn't know if it was
Monday Night
Nitro or
Yeah.
Raw, and that was amazing.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was unbelievable.
Yeah.
As a kid, mind explosion,
Yeah.
and that was when you talk about we don't know what was real, what was fake. When the Outsiders went
Right.
to WWE,
They were really good at describing that. You hit it right on the head. I what I was saying before with like the work rate and stuff. Like you'd watch the Flares and think like, God, he's so good and he looks better than most what we see. But you weren't like weird about like, well, his work rate was this and his
Right.
work. Now I feel it's almost too like AJ Styles is awesome, but like you go on Twitter or whatever and it's just like, yeah, he's a 5-star match. His work rate, like when you were younger, you walked out and it was just
Yeah.
like,
I was
man,
entertained.
I was entertained and
Yeah.
Flair was awesome and this and that. Now you walk out and you're like, well, Styles was good, but was it really a 5-star match? And it's just like, shut up,
Right.
Are you know, get into
Just
it and
watch
just
it.
watch.
Yeah.
But I think that's
Yeah.
part of the wrestler's fault too, because in the '80s you didn't get any kayfabe, like
Right.
it was all real.
Yeah.
The '90s with DX and stuff, you started to get, they would toe the line of like, hey, we're friends, like the Clique, we're friends outside, but but they didn't
Right.
want it right in your face.
Right.
But now I feel it's just everything. Like when you said CM Punk before, I feel now like he'll give an interview, or when he was wrestling, he'd give an interview, and it would be like, and the boys in the back know Triple H isn't really a good guy, and this and that. Why are the magicians just showing their
They're showing
tricks?
their tricks, right?
Right?
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
and that to me is just like,
Yeah.
could wrestling be great again? I wouldn't be interested in it. I'm more interested in MMA because the build up and the fights are, you know, it's real, but they're doing, I feel, what like WWF did or WCW did back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
They're building it up better, they're telling stories better.
Or even
and
boxing.
then it's a real
in the-
fight.
Even in
Yeah.
boxing in the Ali era, when guys would go at each other and they would make it personal.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about the difference between MMA and anything else. It's all the shit talking is a shit talking in anything else, but
Yeah.
in fighting, it's gonna end up being
Yeah.
fought. And that's what was
Right.
great back in the day
Yeah.
with wrestling, because you thought it was.
Speaking of shit, who's the best shit talker in WWF, WWE? Who's the best on the like?
WWF, or are we talking wrestling?
Just wrestling. Like, who was the
WCW?
best like
Mm.
across the board? Piper was good, man.
That was,
Right?
I mean, Piper was the
Wait,
first. He was
shit
the
talker
pioneer.
or just mic skills?
I mean, I guess it's a little bit of both. I mean, I guess
Because
you
if
know.
mic skills, interview wise, I gotta give it to Jake the Snake.
Jake was good,
'Cause
yeah.
Jake the Snake
He was
was,
good.
and to me, Jake the Snake is a special unit as well, because he never needed a belt. And
Right.
that's why he
He
is
was so good without being
yeah,
a champion.
yeah. Bringing it
Yeah.
back to a little bit of UFC, like the Cowboy Cerrone.
Yeah.
Like he will always be loved and always be watched and rooted for, but he don't need a title to
Right.
bring him over the top. Like Hogan needed
Needed a title, yeah.
because that shit would run. Say your prayers, eat your vitamins. That shit runs out, you know.
Yeah.
But when you have the title, you gotta listen to it. And you gotta root
Right.
for it. And he's
Yeah.
always. It was at that time. It was very patriotic as well. He was always beating
Well,
up
yeah,
the
we were in the Cold
Russians
War
and
era, yeah.
Iraq
Yeah,
and
Cold
everything, you
War
know.
era, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So-
But Piper was good, man. Flair was always good on the mic.
Flair,
Flair was good
Flair,
on the
Flair,
mic, you know.
Piper, and
Paul
Roberts.
Heyman. Paul Heyman.
Roberts.
Ooh, good on the
That's
mic.
that's
yeah.
another good one too.
Yeah.
Man,
The
that's a tough
Rock.
one. Who's
The
good?
Rock.
The Rock.
The Rock, and The Rock was.
Eat pie, you know.
That-
You like pie?
That,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going. I'm always gonna go back to that too. Stone Cold.
Stone Cold's good on the mic, yeah. There's so
Stone-
many of them.
Stone Cold
So
was
many of them.
his
Yeah, no.
his attitude and his talk was so good.
Yeah.
Man. It was, yeah. His storyline was great too, because he fought for he didn't fight for a year. Right. And he was on Raw every time, and I didn't even realize it. I didn't even realize he was suspended, but he had the neck injury.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he wrestled for a
right.
fucking year.
Yeah.
But he was on Raw beating up McMahon.
Yeah.
He could do limit, he could do stunners. That's it.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Stone Cold. It was good, and he's still good today. Stone Cold is as cool now as he's ever been.
He hasn't changed either.
No.
He
Broken.
has
You ever
not
see that Broken
changed.
Skull Ranch?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn cool.
He does a podcast too. Stone Cold.
Yeah, he's got a podcast. Yeah.
Well, that was great. You brought up Jake the Snake.
Snake off,
He was the type that he'd give interviews, and a lot of times wrestlers talk and they get real loud to talk and try and get your attention. Jake could just look into a camera and start he would draw, like you'd be sitting in to hear, like he'd be bringing you in rather than him trying to get your attention, which that
so
alone
different.
might make him number one.
Right.
Like
and
that,
so different from everybody else in that era, where it was the rock and wrestling, where everybody was so bright and colorful and loud.
Yeah.
And he was, listen here,
Yeah.
take Damien and we're gonna come in.
Like, it's scary. Yeah.
His documentary. Have you ever seen his documentary?
Oh yeah, what was it, Resurrection?
Resurrection of
Yeah.
Jake. Oh my God! If you guys haven't seen it, you got to watch that.
Netflix.
So good.
Like,
Now that was with the
really
DDP when he went to
WWE.
yeah, that was so good.
Everything, and he
Damn,
just goes into like his his down spiral, where it was like, you know, booze wasn't enough, so I went to pills. Pills wasn't enough, so I went to this. You know, one girl wasn't enough, so I went to two. Two girls wasn't enough, so I went to five. Like
his life was,
he was
childhood
on a downward spiral.
Now, didn't you say Beyond the Mat that like his dad raped his girlfriend's daughter?
Something like that.
And that's how, and that Jake was born from that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
His
that's
dad hated crazy. His dad was a wrestler.
his dad was a wrestler too. Yeah.
DDP was good on the mic too. He was a good.
DDP was
He
good.
was good on the mic. Yeah.
DDP was good.
Yeah, they're.
I like DDP. He was when he became the guy on Nitro, that was like the beginning of it.
Yeah.
I don't think he's not the guy. He's not the guy.
No. Same thing with Jericho. When Jericho became the guy in WWF or WWE, that's to me. That's when I kind of pulled from it, because he was never. He's never the champ.
He's not the guy.
No,
right.
he had good mic skills too. He still does. He still. I mean, we watched a little bit when I was staying with you. We watched a good amount of wrestling. And I like him. Yeah. You know, but he's not the guy.
No.
Well, that's what I think is hurting possibly the product today is they're having a tough time finding the guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it was Hogan, and Hogan handed the ball off to, say, the Bret Hart Michaels era, which that was a little lower compared to Hogan and then compared to Austin.
Right.
But they did a good job building them up, and I know we grew up liking them, but they weren't Hogan's level. But it was, but you know, they were still good. Austin. But then I feel they tried the formula for John Cena and making us all Cena maniacs, and that didn't work.
He's kind of he's very rehashing. He's the new age Hulk Hogan.
Pretty much,
His wrestling skills are subpar, but he
sells a ton of merch.
Yeah, and he sells merchandise, and he pumps that whole love, respect, and which is cool. Right. But it's corny.
He's I can't. Hustle, respect, loyalty, something like that. Like same thing.
Say your prayers, eat your vitamins. It's just that stuff. You gotta adapt with the times.
Right.
Kids, this is what they want.
They'd be like, I'm not gonna eat my damn vitamins.
Hogan, we cannot go with this whole thing. Hogan turned heel. First off, John Cena sucks. He's huge in Afghanistan, though.
But he might be one of those guys like we talked about before. The general population thinks he sucks.
Right.
Yeah.
But you go on Twitter or you go to the mercandise sales and he's like huge.
Yeah.
Kids,
10 minutes.
the kids love him. And but he's still not.
And the brass loves him.
30 years
ago.
I'm
gonna go see that Cockblockers. I'll let you guys know.
Rebecca wants to see that too.
Rebecca
saw that too. Yeah.
So we'll see. He's actually pretty funny in movies. I have to give him that.
Yeah, he's a talented guy.
Yeah, I saw him in a couple movies, and
he's entertaining.
When he's funny, he's good. But when he's action star, he's a little. He's not too much.
He's another one with Mike skills. There was one that was building up. I think it might have been last WrestleMania. It was Roman Reigns and John Cena, and they're having all this battle. And Roman Reigns is notorious for being bad on the mic, and he flubs this whole interview. And right in the middle of Raw live TV, Cena goes, "Go ahead, I'll wait for you." Like, just puts him on blast.
But see, there's the flip side.
Like leaves on the rope. He goes, "Go ahead, I'll wait for you."
Yeah,
you know,
should be good.
And you're like, shit, did that just happen?
Yeah, but I like Roman Reigns. Like, to me, he's got the look. He's got the. He could kind of wrestle. He's
Yeah.
you know.
Comes from that Samoa dynasty.
Yeah, but he's got a good look. Like
Right.
he looks like a wrestler.
Yeah.
And he's mysterious. He's got a little mysterious. He's not too flashy.
Right.
Because of all the other stuff, who's the guy with Jericho? The fat guy.
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Like, can he ever have been a fucking anything in the golden era?
Oh,
He
oh
would be
my
the
God,
Brooklyn
yeah.
He's
Brawler.
Brooklyn
Yeah,
Brawler. That's what I
yeah.
was just gonna say.
Yeah.
the
Fuck, that
Brooklyn
guy's got
Brawler.
belts.
I know. He's one of the matches.
He's
at
got more
WrestleMania.
belts than Jake the
Yeah.
Snake.
He's one of the matches. At
The
WrestleMania.
fuck?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Hogan worked, and they went with it till it didn't work anymore. Austin, they had to twinge him a little bit.
Yeah.
He was the keymaster, or ringmaster, or whatever.
whatever
and they,
it was,
yeah, and they had
yeah.
to make him Stone
Stone
Cold. Like they,
Cold.
but
The
The
Rock.
Rock. Now here's The Rock.
Then
The
The
Rock. The
Rock.
Rock's he started out as Rocky Maivia.
Yes.
And then finally found his groove,
Yeah.
went with The Rock. So it's like the WWE pushed them, but then they kind of found their own way, and they
Right.
did it. Whether turn heel or got their own persona. I don't feel John Cena ever did that. I feel they pushed him like crazy. The
Yeah.
fans dumped on it,
Yeah.
but he still never found his own way. Never turned heel like you said with
Yeah.
Hogan before.
Mhm.
And then Roman Reigns. Again, not that I'm following it super close by any
Right.
stretch, but I feel it's like, okay, here's the next guy we're pushing. He's got the look. He's
Yeah.
got blah blah blah. And then they're not. It's just they're not finding their way.
Yeah,
I
and
feel.
he's the main event at this WrestleMania. It's him and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
You
which
know, and Brock is already. Dana's already said Brock is coming back to the the UFC. That might as well be the same fucking thing at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah, sure,
With
yeah.
the madness, but he's already said he's coming back to UFC. So it's kind of like, hey, spoiler alert. You know, Roman Reigns wins WrestleMania.
well,
you
but
know,
but
like,
I think that
or
might
they
be,
throw you a swerve and go, okay, Brock wins, and the next night
well.
everybody tune into Raw so we can sell.
Here could be Roman Reigns'
You know.
big push because
Well,
everybody's
John Cena
gonna.
or Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar.
Oh,
yeah,
at
okay.
WrestleMania.
He
Yeah.
said John Cena.
Yeah.
Okay, so but now the WWE fans. Now that's the one thing. Everybody's smart now. Everybody knows
Right.
Brock's leaving.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna boo the heck out of Brock because they're gonna be like, you don't like us.
Right.
You don't want to be with us. You
Right.
you think you're too good for this. I have a feeling they're gonna boo the
Yeah,
heck
you
out
only
of Brock.
come- you only come
this
back
could be the
to
way
us-
to make Roman Reigns. Really.
It
Yeah,
could be,
yeah.
Could be the way to
Yeah,
really
and kind
put
of
him
be
over the
like,
top.
you know,
He's
you
our
don't
guy, at
belong
least.
here.
Right.
You don't belong here.
Right.
You're not one of us.
Yeah.
They
He's-
can make that statement.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
big for Roman.
And he's on his way out, and Ronda's on her way in.
Yeah.
Because Ronda's got a match at WrestleMania.
We
It's
were
her,
just talking about
her and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon.
Okay.
Now I'm going to say this. I'm a fan of Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I just like her.
She
look.
looks like
I know.
she looks like Vince McMahon with tits.
Yeah, she looks like Vince McMahon with massive hooters.
Do you remember the
I like
Jericho
that.
Stephanie McMahon thing?
Yeah.
The back and forth.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God. that
Hold
was
on,
so
hold on.
great.
Let's
But yeah,
say-
go,
let's
go.
say- we
Yeah,
got
let's-
Ronda.
yeah,
We
yeah,
got
Ronda.
We're gonna go off. We're gonna
Yeah.
go off. Yeah, we're gonna get Ronda. I'm gonna get stuck on.
When she came out with boobs and Jericho was like, you know, that was so funny.
Oh,
But all right, yeah,
God.
Ronda.
Ronda. Ronda will not work in the WWE.
She's gonna have a really hard time.
We talked about this earlier. You have to find your own way.
Yeah.
Especially wrestling fans. We talked about it. We used a couple examples. Dusty Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
Dusty Rhodes came in as the next Dustin Rhodes.
Right.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Dustin came in as the next
Yeah,
Dustin.
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Dustin came in as the
Uh-huh.
next Dusty Rhodes, and nobody. They were like, you're like Diet Coke. You
Right.
know what I mean? You're
Yep.
nothing special. You're a ripoff, and you don't taste as good.
Right.
Well, he didn't pop until he became Goldust.
Right.
Now he is nothing like the previous product.
Right.
Rocky Maivia came in with his Hawaiian
Right.
swag, very much like Rocky Maivia.
Yeah.
You cannot do that. The fans didn't like it, and then he said, "No, I'm The Rock," and he was nothing like the previous
Right.
character.
Yeah.
Found his own way. And then
David Flair, Ric Flair.
David
David
Flair.
Ric Flair. Yep. Yeah.
So
Yep.
here's the thing, but he didn't even break through.
Well, he
Yeah.
did.
But
Well,
he
he
tried,
did-
but he tried to
he
pull
tried
off
to do the
cookie.
same thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
you
Same
cannot.
thing.
And for
Yeah.
her to
Yep.
take on Piper's shit,
Right.
you cannot be respected. for
Can't.
it. You're Rowdy Roddy.
Can't.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Can't. And
Fuck
She
you.
should have just came
Here's
in with
the
like
thing.
an ass kick.
Here's
on
the
the
Mike's
thing.
skills are awful.
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 Mike's
She
skills.
can't fucking talk her way out of a wet paper
Right.
bag. She's unlikable as a character,
She's
so
unlikable.
she's got to be a
Yeah.
heel.
And
you
she's
know.
smiling. She's
Yeah.
like in the ring, she's like,
Yeah.
I'm just
She doesn't know what to
having
do.
fun. Yeah. She doesn't know what to do with herself.
But
Yeah.
this is why they, back to even the UFC, why nobody respected her and liked her as much as they could have and should have, is because she was handed everything.
Everything. Yes.
And it's
And the fans are going to dump.
she
on
is
her.
she is
Yeah.
still the only
Yeah.
UFC champion to ever be anointed a championship.
Yeah.
Jose Aldo, when they brought in the 145
Yeah.
title for the first time, was the WEC, which was a product of the UFC.
He was the 145 pound
45
champ
pound
because
champ.
there
No
was
question
nothing
asked.
else. Yeah,
No
there was
question
nothing else.
asked.
Yeah.
Defended it multiple times.
Yeah.
and he had to fight for the inaugural belt. She was anointed, you are the champion,
Right.
before the Misha
Before
Tate fight.
anything,
I think her first fight was who? Liz Carmouche, right?
That makes sense. It was right
Yeah,
around that.
probably
Maybe
right.
I think it
first
was
or
her first
second,
fight,
yeah.
right? But whatever, it was the inaugural, whatever, the first ever women's championship.
Yep.
She was already the champ. She was announced as the
Right.
champ. So she was handed that, and now she's handed Roddy Piper after he just passed away. This
Yeah.
whole shit.
Yep.
Get the fuck
No,
out
I
of
think
here.
the fans are
Yeah.
gonna dump on her major. She's gonna have to turn heel.
And she's not going to work a full-time schedule, I'm
Right.
sure. Which,
No.
again, once the fans hear about that, they're going to hate her.
They're gonna
Because
hate
it's
her.
like, again, you're not
Evil.
one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and they like paired her up with Kurt Angle to try to like give her the save her because everybody loves Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking
You're
talking a hero, an Olympic
Yeah.
hero. Like,
and he
people
went
love
heel.
Kurt Angle.
And he went heel.
He went heel. He
Yeah.
came back. He,
Yeah.
like he goes back and forth.
If-
But there's a guy that could have went the other way. Like,
Yeah.
He could have not gone wrestling. He could have gone UFC. Imagine
Could've been. Kurt
he's
Angle in
one of
UFC
the
won.
greatest wrestlers.
Oh,
I mean, like, you know,
Yeah.
there's stories of him like taking down the Big Show in the back in like actual like grappling. Like, hey, let's
Yeah.
wrestle and
Oh,
see who gets the
well,
takedown,
they say
you know, like
him and Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
Actually
yeah,
went in the ring,
Brock
yeah.
Lesnar talked shit about, and they did some freestyle wrestling,
Yeah.
collegiate wrestling,
Yeah.
and they say Kurt Angle fucking worked him.
Yeah.
So.
And Brock's got, what, 30, 40 pounds on
Yeah.
him? At least.
At
least,
Yeah,
yeah.
at least, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it's interesting because you see, like I said, I'm still watching it, and you'll see Kurt like hobble down to the ring. It reminds me of like old jiu-jitsu guys. Like they'll hobble, and then when it's time to go,
Yeah.
they go.
Yeah.
Like their
yeah.
body remembers what to do.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. It's kind of what we were saying
It's
the
kind
other
of
day.
like how I am. I come out of the locker room
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Limping, and then,
yeah, and then I
once
start
you get warm, gotta get
Turn
warm.
the heat up a little bit,
Yeah.
let the bones loosen up.
Takes a little bit to get the leftovers heated up these
That's
days,
it.
but it
That's
still
it,
tastes
yeah.
all right.
Still tastes all right. There's no freezer burn on it yet.
You tell us, because you know I think you watch the current product more
Yeah.
than we do.
Yes.
So would the smart play be to, like, when I feel like when we watched it and The Rock was, they start, you know, die Rocky die, you suck. They immediately turned him heel and it
Yeah,
worked
they did,
awesome.
yeah,
They
yes,
turned,
yeah.
I think the Nation of Domination already
The
went in
Nation
and
of
then it,
Domination with Farouk and those
yeah,
guys.
yeah. They turned heel
Yeah.
and then it was awesome.
Yeah.
Now from the outside looking in, it feels like, all right, John Cena, we're going to push him. We don't care if you boo him, we're still going to push him.
Yep.
Roman Reigns are doing the same thing.
Yep.
Do you think Ronda, now are they all cheering her or do you see boos?
They're cheering her.
Are
They're
they
cheering her.
Because, I mean, the smart
Yeah.
thing would be to kind of see it in the future and be
But I think
should we
like,
have her turn on Kurt tonight or something?
right,
like
and that's
that.
what I think. I think like you guys said, like that the taste is gonna wear off.
Yeah.
Right now they're like, Ronda's here, and
Yeah.
They're just
you
happy
know,
they
She gets
got
that
it.
just
initial
happy
pop,
they-
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But 3 months from now they're gonna be saying, you know, die Ronda die.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. See, that's
Good.
what I feel that the difference
Die
is.
Ronda
Yeah.
die. Die Ronda die. No.
Oh, come on.
I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, look at it.
Yeah, I know.
We had to
Somebody
go there.
Yeah, her car will hit a dolly later and flip her.
Get your
Okay,
guys.
you know.
Oh, sorry.
You go, no, yeah.
I was gonna say get your just branch off a little bit onto MMA, but with Ronda, your guys' opinion. 2 black belts here, know the game really well. What do you feel was Ronda? I mean, obviously it was the perfect storm of look, and she was legit with judo and this and that, and she was really good. But I don't want to say lucky, but was she really that good, or was the competition that bad, or a
Competition was
mission?
that bad.
I kind of think that, right?
Competition was
Yeah.
that bad.
Well, she was up there. She
was legit, but
here's the thing with the biggest thing with Ronda in MMA. She was a lifetime athlete fighting girls who were getting into mixed martial arts after a year or 2 or 3 of training.
Yes.
She was a lifetime athlete. So a lot of times her judo was getting her, but a lot of times she was just a bigger, stronger athlete. Then girls were growing up for 4 years, 5 years watching her, training, and then becoming lifetime athletes. There were wrestling girls who became fighters.
Yeah.
Now, there's Sarah McMahon, an Olympic wrestler turned fighter. So these girls are starting to evolve physically, and then the skills have come. I don't think there's a sport that came faster, better than women's MMA.
Yeah.
The initial product before, even pre-Ronda, was so bad and laughable, and it
like
was
an average kickboxer.
it
what's
was
her name
bad.
Was good. Gina Carano was just
Gina
like
Carano
an
was,
ass
yeah,
kicker.
she was killing everybody.
Yeah.
But it was very bad. Like, if Gina Carano didn't fight, she actually had skill. But there were some girls, like I said, and it's nothing against females or anything, it's just you have people who've been doing it for a year or 2 compared to people who have been doing something combat-wise. And you got Holly Holmes coming in who, you know, boxed for 10, 15 years. Right?
Yeah.
Kickboxing, 15 years.
At a world-class level. Yeah.
There's a different type of athlete involved in that, and it came so far so fast, and that's a testament to Ronda, because she had to force it, because people were getting either inspired by her or sick of her.
Right.
So it really caught up quick with her.
Yeah.
But in a good way, in a bad way, because I honestly, some of the best fights I see now are women fights, because they don't rely on power and knockout ability.
Mm-hmm.
They just say, I'm going to beat you with my skills. Like the Rose Jędrzejczyk fight was technical as hell. Maybe to the casual fan it wasn't the greatest, but I thought
the gas tanks seemed great too.
Beautiful.
Right? Yeah. It's just they seemed they could keep that high level very long. Yeah.
Very impressive.
Yeah. And I think that's what drew her to the or draw the WWF to her is she's got the look. They know she's not afraid to take bumps and get hit. You know, judo people got to take bumps.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, like so she has all the tools, but can she use them? And will she get over the fans?
Well, she has all the physical tools.
She has all the physical tools.
But in wrestling now,
you gotta
the
have
theatrics is a big.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to make her the female version of Brock Lesnar. They're going to say, here's Paul Heyman. He's going to do all your talking.
Yeah.
You sit there with your resting bitch face.
And
then come in and smash some chick.
Yeah.
Okay. Bring it back to some WrestleMania. Top 1 or 2 favorite WrestleMania moments.
Andre passing the torch to Hogan. Yep. Hogan passing the torch to Warrior. They're definitely 2 of my favorites. And I would say like my all-time favorite match would be Savage Steamboat for the Intercontinental title.
WrestleMania 3.
The best WrestleMania match ever. I don't know if it's the greatest
WWF wasn't doing it at the time.
Yeah.
They weren't doing those type of quality matches at the time.
It might not have been the greatest WrestleMania moment of all time, but match of all time was that.
Those are good ones.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. To reiterate what you said, Hogan, Andre, the body slam.
Yep.
Awesome. Again, back with my first WrestleMania 30-year anniversary of WrestleMania 4. Miss Elizabeth on Randy Savage's shoulder, celebrating the world title win, which, at the time, it was Hulk Hogan was the world champ. There wasn't anything about it. So seeing Savage as the world champ brought a new, wow, that was awesome. I remember when Savage, I think it was WrestleMania 7, 8, 9, in that range, when Savage lost to Warrior in a retirement match. And then Sensational Sherry, and then the way they were putting it on TV, like she lost her meal ticket in Savage, and she just gets in the ring and starts kicking him when he was down. And then Miss Elizabeth, who they showed in the crowd, came over the guardrail, went in there, threw out Sherry, and then Savage.
Mr. Ruggles with tears.
Oh my God! It was like the love story, right? And then they're looking at each other, and you're not sure if Savage is still gonna be the dick and push her away, but then he hugs her, lifts her on her shoulder, and then remember Elizabeth used to open the ring for Savage, and this time he opened it for her, and then I mean,
you were crying.
Oh, it was awesome.
You were,
and then I think it said 2 or 3. So I guess my third, when HBK I think won the Iron Man match, and it was like the boyhood dream or whatever, and he was on the ground with the
cradling.
it was like even the hair was down a little bit that they couldn't. It was just like they couldn't. I thought that was like, to me it was. Okay, we can forget about Hogan. I think we have a new era pushing through. Yeah. So those are mine.
I agree with all those. For sure, the Hogan body slamming, Warrior passing the torch to the Warrior, the Iron Man match. That was one that I was gonna say. Not just the match itself. The match itself was great, super technical, fun, an hour long. At times it was like a little too much, but they kept it going. Those no other 2 guys can do it besides Bret Hart and HBK. But HBK's entrance, the best of all fucking time.
That's right.
Coming down from the rafters. Woo! I'm getting goosebumps right now. Another one. Stone Cold beating HBK. And Mike Tyson turning. Boom, caught him. And like I said, I'm a newer era, the Attitude Era, and then Stone Cold versus Rock.
That was a good one too.
Well,
that
was one 3 times. Which was
the first time Stone Cold and Rock got together. That was the first WrestleMania they fought at.
And I think Stone Cold
because that was when The Rock was on his way up.
Right.
I believe The Rock won.
I thought Austin won the first two and then Rock won the
No, I
last
think
one.
Rock won. I think Rock won the first. I think Rock won the
Yes,
first. Because it was kind of the passing of the torch at that time too.
Yeah.
Those are always the best. Those are always the best moments, you know.
Yeah.
And it's anytime Undertaker.
Right.
Is he gonna?
I was gonna say,
is he wrestling?
So
tonight?
that's the rumor. Undertaker is gonna show up and
Okay.
fight John Cena. That's the rumor for tonight. They haven't confirmed it like on Raw and made it official, but that's the rumor. You got there's a whole bunch of them, but you got Lesnar, Reigns. That's the main event. You got Ronda, Kurt versus Triple H, and then the other big main event is AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, who's like a
That guy can move. I saw him a couple of days.
well, he comes out of that Antonio Inoki school of
In Japan,
where they actually wrestle, like where they'll punch you. They're like, hey man, listen, I'm gonna hit you tonight. Like he comes out of that school, whatever they call stiff or strong, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like you're gonna get hit. You know, like we're not fighting, but hey, when I throw this punch, you're gonna get hit. And,
which is we always say that about when we talk like Bret Hart. Like we like that's how I feel like Bret Hart was just like he was one of the last guys that like you saw and it was just I don't know, it was just believable.
To me, the best technical wrestler.
Bret Hart,
he was really
and never got the respect he deserved.
Yeah.
And I thought he had everything. He had mic skills. He had the look.
Yeah.
He had he was good. The
sunglasses,
sunglasses, putting him on kids. I mean, he had everything you can ask for, and they just never embraced him. They were always looking. I mean, they gave
they were always looking for the next
They gave
guy,
it. They always were trying to give it to
The
someone
next
else,
guy,
and he would have to pick it up and carry it. And he would be fighting. I remember there was like 2 years straight where he didn't fight a guy under 500 pounds. And to be able to do that and make it look believable.
Right.
And then come back and fight an hour with Shawn Michaels.
And then and then
like
be
that
able
was
to,
just like
he can fight. He can wrestle anybody and make it look good. He doesn't get the respect he deserves. Shit.
Mr. Perfect was
I'm
another
sorry.
guy that was like that.
WrestleMania 13, greatest moment of all time for me. Stone Cold Steve Austin, speaking of Bret Hart, not tapping to the shooter, going out. To me, that was the fucking Stone Cold moment for me. Like, I became the biggest fan of all time when he passed out with the blood streaming out, coming down. The best. That to me, that was.
If they were gonna make a capsule and put it like just like 3 or 4 or 5 pictures of WrestleMania moments, 100%.
That's gotta be one.
If not number one,
right?
Maybe I think Hogan slamming Andre, and then that with Austin, because they're the two biggest stars. So I think that those would be the two biggest moments. I think so. Yeah, even though that Austin wasn't for a world title, or that wasn't, but that made him. And it was cool because as I remember, it was like.
And entrance-wise, speaking of the entrance, that was when they had the 316 and they threw.
Yeah. And Bret was the good guy, Austin was the heel, but they left. But first.
That's when they knew how to tell stories.
And real quick though, you guys are Macho Man fans. Like, in that era, theme music was a big thing for me, right?
Yeah.
Fucking worst theme music ever. The graduation, like, did he go to Harvard or something that we didn't know about? What the fuck was that?
It worked for him.
No, it didn't. It didn't. He was so crazy. He needed like a da-na-na-na. He needed
Did
a
Ric
fucking...
Flair go to outer space?
No, but his was... But it worked. But his was... No, but his was... To me, it was an epic fucking look at me, right?
But that's how the... Pomp and the name of the song is Pomp and Circumstance. That's Macho Man. He's like...
When you brought that up,
But when Hogan came out, but if you had to close your eyes and like you listen to Hogan's theme music, like you would picture some fucking yellow and red spandex American. But the Ultimate Warrior, you hear the Ultimate Warrior. Like
Bret Hart was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels with the When you brought that up, I agree with you.
And they were all original. What the fuck? That's like a graduation song.
But it wasn't always a graduation song. It was actually written, I think, first for the military. That's the name of the song, Pomp and Circumstance. Like
whatever. It became.
When you said that made a lot of sense.
But everybody had original though. But everyone had original though. And that wasn't original. That was. But I'm saying like everybody had their own, theme music like that. Nowadays, that's not even really that big of a thing. I think the game has a cool one. But besides that one, the rest of them are kind of like.
Everything from like 85 on was original. But before that, like the Rock and Roll Express, like I remember watching stuff in like the AWA or NWA would come down to like Smoking in the boys' room, or your mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll, or you know, like there were
Fabulous Free Birds.
yeah, well, I love that. That was original. But before they got before they got Bad Street USA, I think they came down to the hot song at the time. You know, like
I don't even remember.
Yeah,
Bad Street USA.
So I think the Savage might have come from that rip off a song thing in the early '80s, but then by the time the mid '80s to late '80s,
you figure they would have never approached him and said, listen, like we got a fucking awesome, like very Macho Man. I mean, he was such like a huge personality, and that song comes on, and it
should have come out to the Village People, like.
No, I mean it could. Dude. I mean that would have fit him. That would have fit him a little better than that fucking terrible.
Yeah, I see Savage with that. I see it, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
I just think everybody else.
I'm conditioned to think it makes sense now.
But I'm saying, when you hear Hogan's song, you think of Hogan and nothing else.
Right.
When you hear that at a graduation song, you're just like, oh yeah, Macho Man.
That's what I love about it.
But,
when I graduated from King,
I spin around and
I
spit on the old lady next to me. Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
You can't take me to
I
graduation.
get it.
I'm
but
dropping
I'm
elbows.
saying,
Like the principal's walking up and I'm like.
But his personality, like to me, every time that came out, I would think that the way he was so much bigger than life that his song would have reflected that, because it did with everyone else. You know, like the song to me was great because it encapsulated like the guy. Like if you didn't know anything about him and you heard his theme song, you would get an idea of what he is.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah. Bret the Hitman Hart, that fucking.
Well,
you know, but it was that guitar. He's the Hitman. Right. You know, so he's cool. He's badass.
Yep.
You know, Stone Cold, everybody. Yep. You know, it was intense. And I know them fucking all. You know what I'm saying?
I saw
the Rock says. The Rock says.
Yeah, I saw this thing with like the making of the music thing, and I think it was Earthquake or somebody. We're like, all right, well here's what he is. He's a big guy, and the guy just was like, dum, 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 and he just started strumming the guitar, and the guy made the song after the guy telling them what type of guy he is. So yeah, that's true. But I agree. I think Savage. I don't know if it was just conditioned. We saw him love it, but it worked for me. But I think it might have just been because like I never thought about that though.
I'm personally not gonna watch WrestleMania, the new one. I'm gonna go home and watch a bunch of clips of old WrestleManias tonight. And every time Macho Man comes out, I'm gonna play Macho Man from the Village People and see how it looks.
And see how it really looks.
See how it looks him coming out to something a little different.
You let me know how that works.
All right.
I don't know. Personally, I mean, I think I would just hit volume up 10 times when Savage's music came out.
That is still to this day, that's my biggest regret of Macho Man. I'm not the biggest Macho Man fan. That's crazy too.
His mic skills weren't the best, but because he was so nutty,
crazy,
he was like.
But I don't like him. But I didn't like him though. I don't know. He was too.
Oh, I loved him.
He was too much. He was too much.
I didn't care if he was heel, good guy.
Yeah. He was too much. I don't know. He was just too much for me. His interviews were too much. His personality was too much.
It was the era too. You know, it's just the time.
I know.
I mean that. You know.
But to me, it was like Warrior
at the time.
I
so
like
he kind of had to be larger than life. You know.
But I liked Warrior more, and I thought they were kind of similar but different. You know what I mean? They were both like bright colors and crazy entrance and crazy demeanor. When they fought was great though.
That was awesome.
It was the battle of the fucking psycho. You left interviews after like poor Mean Gene. Like he's just like
throw the mic.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What? Who? What?
He always used to bust me random Ruggles trivia of like, I did not know the father from The Graduate was the voice in Knight Rider's car. You know, like just like that, Mr. Feeney.
Mr. Feeney.
Mean Gene sang the first WrestleMania anthem, like whatever they Star Spangled Banner in the morning.
Wow.
Mean Gene. It was. There you go.
Mean Gene.
There you go.
Mean Gene. That's the thing too. They don't have announcers like they used to. You know what I mean? Like there's no Mean Gene. The guy who interviews him, like, he's always like a weaselly, wormy looking guy now.
Well, did they even do managers now? That's what sucks. The
depth of the tag team too. The Attitude Era killed that for sure.
Yeah.
The Golden Era had that. There weren't guys that were ever going to be champions, like, you know, the Nasty Boys, the Bushwhackers, LOD, the Steiner Boys, all those guys. Like, they were tag teams. And then, you know, once HBK, once Shawn Michaels left the Rockers, then it was like, whoa, we can leave this thing and go. and then the Hart Foundation fell apart, and then
Yep.
and it became more of a solo go.
Yeah.
But I remember there were those lifetime tag teams, like they were the tag team champs, and that's who they were.
Freebirds, the Von Erich.
Now it's not. Who's in the modern
Midnight
era?
Express,
Who's the two
Rock and
guys?
Roll Express.
Yeah, they had tag teams.
Yeah,
And now they have the Budio guys.
The Budio
But
guys,
the guys who were
Yeah.
the champions, the redhead, the ginger, and the bald guy. I can't think of their names.
I can't even think right now.
The tall.
They got the Usos.
The red hair.
Yeah.
He's got the red mohawk.
Oh, yeah. Sheamus and
Sheamus.
Cesaro. Sheamus
Yeah.
and Cesaro.
Like,
Yeah.
they're not a tag team.
No.
It's just like I feel
But
they
they were the tag team champions at one
yeah.
point. They're two
Yeah.
single guys.
that came together to
Right,
yeah.
and that happened in the Attitude
Yeah.
Era too, because it started to be like DX, but they
Right.
weren't. They were still single guys, but they would tag team every once
Yeah.
in a while.
Yeah.
What I feel that did too was not only give guys, like, your space. Like, not everybody could be a number one, but you try and be a really good number 2, 3, 4, like whatever position you do,
Yeah.
you do it well. And I feel a lot of those, like we were saying, the Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express, like they were tag teams, and they did it really well, and
Yeah.
they made a lot of money because
Yeah.
of that.
Because of that.
But guys that I feel that we're missing the boat on are we brought up the Hart Foundation and the Rockers.
Yes.
Okay? So Hogan, Savage, Warrior, nobody was replacing those guys as the
No.
top 3. But what I feel tag teams did was we grew up knowing Shawn Michaels, and we grew up knowing Bret Hart.
Right.
So when they did branch off,
Yeah.
they didn't need this whole big promotion behind them in a sense, because it was we
already
knew them so
familiar
well, and
with
we were
them.
already,
Right.
and so tag
Yeah.
teams were able to do that. And now they don't do it.
No.
So I feel now it's like if Roman Reigns, now didn't they get him from a tag team?
Yeah, he was part of the Shield, which was like a 3-man.
So
kind of like a new,
but
new
that's
age
one of like the
Freebird,
few that's one of the
Yeah.
few cases of like, okay, we have a tag team, we're gonna and the star's gonna go and split it up,
Yeah.
and then at least people know them well, and they don't have
Right.
to do this big long thing to get them over.
Yeah, and
and
all three
I
of
feel
those guys
they're
actually
missing
went
the
on
boat
to be,
with
like,
tag teams
champions.
by doing that.
Yeah,
They
for sure.
so
Yeah. Booker T, Harlem Heat.
that's
There-
another great one.
There are
Yeah.
a lot of great guys
A lot
came
of
from
great
the.
ones, yeah.
And what kills wrestling nowadays is when they integrated the WCW and the WWF with all the belts. There's
Yeah.
too many belts.
Oh,
Too
Yeah.
many belts. It was when it was the World Championship and then the Intercontinental Champion was
Mhm.
the guy in waiting.
Yeah.
Sometimes the Intercontinental belt was enough for a lot of guys.
Yeah.
And that was the
They would
Mr.
just-
Perfect,
Mr. Perfect,
and
Bret
Rick
Hart
Rude.
before Rick Hart, yeah.
Rick Rude. But I'm just saying guys who never got
Oh, okay,
to get
yeah,
over.
yeah.
Right.
But that was good enough for them. Like
Yeah.
they were the Intercontinental Champion. That was
Yeah.
like, whoa, okay, yeah, that
was
that's
what we said
prestige.
before about knowing
And
the role and doing it really well.
Right.
Yeah.
Honky Tonk Man.
Honky
He was
Tonk.
never going to be world champ,
No.
but he was an awesome number
He was an awesome
2.
Number 2.
baby.
Yep.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
We'll say, I'll fill everybody in on what happens in WrestleMania.
Yeah, let us know.
I think it's going to be a stinker. I think Ronda Rousey's going to shit the
Let us
bed,
know.
and I think
Don't go
Shane
watch some
McMahon's going to
Bulls.
do something crazy, jump off a cage or some
It's
horse
like
shit. and-
I heard he got
you know,
diverticulitis and he had some
He was in
kind
the
of
hospital,
theory
yeah,
of
but I
something,
guess he
yeah.
got medically cleared that he's going to be okay. and
So I'll
whatever,
also
you
read
know,
the dirt sheets every
Yeah.
now and then, and also
Yeah.
listen
Yeah,
to wrestling podcasts.
yeah.
So like I'm familiar enough
Yeah.
with it,
Yeah.
but I enjoy that more than I think the 3 hours of.
Yeah.
And it's probably some of that has to do with like a wife who would be like, okay, so
Yeah.
Saturday night you're actually watching real people fight, which
Right.
I could get.
Yeah.
But then Monday you're gonna want to sit through 3 hours of
Right.
you know,
Fake, yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
I
And
get
that's
where you're
what I'll
coming
play on
from.
my phone. I'll
Yeah,
edit
yeah.
the podcast later. I'll
Yeah.
do, so I'll be distracted, but it'll be on in the background.
But
for
bring
sure.
us in back. Bring us back. We love for the WWE to win us back, but right?
I mean, I don't see it happening.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I really am. I'm like slowly like sliding out the door.
Well, you had kids. You had younger kids though.
Yeah,
so
they
you
were always
got
into it, so I was
yeah.
always in it. But
They
now
grew
it's
out
just
of it
like
before he did.
the
though.
storyline.
They hit like 16 and they were like, Dad,
Yeah.
this shit's gay. And
Yeah,
he's
it
like,
is.
yeah,
Hey, men in shorts.
CM Punk. But
I could see you as a CM Punk guy.
Yeah.
I bet you
he
like
loves
it. I
CM Punk.
got.
He loves
CM
CM
Punk was
Punk.
good.
Yeah, I see. I kind of like.
Yeah.
He
that,
picked
too.
him to win the last fight.
See,
Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby. All right, Mr. Ruggles, we gotta have Mr. Ruggles back for another conversation.
Yeah, this was a
Yeah,
blast.
well,
maybe
I think we'll have to do
podcast
like
25 or something. We'll have him back, and we'll
Well, I
do
think
a
we'll have to do-
WCW NWO era.
yeah,
Oh,
I
we
think
can
we
do
might
that.
have to do like a greatest of all time, like who like we'll have to do a bracket like that of wrestlers.
Oh, we
that
could-
would, that would be
That
would
might
go on.
break we could sit here for hours and
really
debate
could.
that should be your next tournament. That would be a bowl.
Well, that one's gonna be will have to be thought out. We'll have fucking visual representation and
we
call-ins
might lose
and
friendships
yeah.
and stuff over that. 'Cause there's gonna be some
That one's
people
gonna
I'm
be
just gonna
tough.
be like,
Yeah.
nope.
Yeah.
He would not put him over, and I'm not letting it happen.
About the hero one though, a lot of people upset about the Rocky one. Yeah, him and
I specifically now I made.
But like I said, what was it, MDSU or whatever, that the team that upset Kansas in the first round. You know, there's got to be a 16 seed that beats the number 1 seed. You know what I'm saying? That's March Madness. It wouldn't be a tournament without it. You know,
Now,
there's going to be some upsets.
My argument
The
was
Italian community feelings will be hurt. You know, I'm sorry.
this. You got to respect Tyler. His beliefs and what he wants to go with, he will drive home tooth and nail. Okay, which you respect. It's like, hey, I wish I was that, like concrete about a lot of stuff. But when I brought forth the facts of like, okay, your point was that Rocky, what's a street fight, he wouldn't win, and then I come back with like, well, he grew up in Philadelphia as a street fighter, and then he won Rocky 5 against the world champion, a top tier athlete in a street fight, and that the promoter said like, you don't fight a street fighter. He's a street fighter. When I brought those facts, and you were like, well, we need an upset. I felt like that was such a personal victory. I was like, all right, I can't argue that. And that was the most, you taking that half a step back was the most I've seen, and I respected that.
I'm not saying
the greatest unmet victory you've ever
Yeah,
had.
I was like,
I'm
I'm not saying that he beats them all 10 out of 10 times. I'm just saying that that's why we play the game. Sometimes, at any given Sunday, you can be defeated.
I was watching that, and I was like, why isn't Jeff saying anything?
Yeah, honestly, I was trying, with the Tyler Durden thing, I was trying to cause controversy, and Jeff just rolled on that one.
That was one of those things I wish
He
you
had too much
took
to
calls
drink.
in. I wish you took calls in.
He had
I wish
too
you
much.
took calls
Yeah,
in.
he had too much to drink. He had like 2 shots of whiskey that day. Yeah, he was like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, we're good.
He's like, this is gonna piss Ralph off. You know?
Oh, God.
J. Cole is spinning in his cartwheel in his Corvette, whatever the hell he drives. Whatever he's wrecking this week.
Yeah.
So I was okay with Balboa losing. I rooted for the Russians, so what am I care? All right, Mr. Ruggles. Thank
Guys,
you for
I
coming,
appreciate
brother.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you,
And
brother.
here's to many more. And just
Woo!
love your guys' podcast and keep up. Only see big things for you guys. Really enjoy it.
Thanks.
Really enjoy the heck out of it.
We'll be back with another segment right after this. All right, we're leaving WrestleMania talk in the rearview mirror. We're back, and we're going to close out the show with our Elite 8, our fantasy death match, which has riled so many people up. They don't like our picks. They love our picks. They hate them. They're indifferent to them. Whatever. But they're talking about it. That's all that matters.
Yes.
That's all that matters.
But like we say, man, it's the March Madness here, so it's going to be upsets.
It's going to be upsets.
There's got to be the small school that upsets the number 1 seed.
And that is Tyler Durden.
And that's Tyler Durden. I'm sorry, guys. He don't give a fuck. We had it brought up that Rocky was a street fighter, sure. But, Rocky is terrible in first matches. He's great. He's way better in rematches.
He is.
In mostly every one of his fights, he's lost the first match. He's a head case, you know.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
Maybe we'll give him a rematch down the line with Durden.
Maybe someday.
Maybe
someday.
But let's talk Danny LaRusso versus Walker, Texas Ranger.
Wow.
I don't even think it's a conversation.
No.
I think Walker smokes him.
Walker fucks LaRusso up.
Bad.
He spinning heel kicks him in fucking spurred up cowboy boots and takes off LaRusso's fucking headband and his scalp with it. Yeah, LaRusso has no answer for this.
I love the ending. Yeah, Walker all day.
Walker.
There's not even a debate.
Faux show.
Not even a debate. I don't think there's a debate till the end. I'm gonna
No.
So we're pushing Walker along. He's in the final 4.
Yes.
Wick versus Dukes.
I mean,
Come on.
It's
Are we even? It's the Boogeyman. Are we
It's the
even
Boogeyman.
going? It's the Boogeyman versus the fictional.
Yeah. If I didn't read all this fucking nonsense about the real Frank Dukes being such a phony, I might want to push the Kumite master through. But the fact that it was complete bullshit,
Yep.
my childhood is a lie.
Yep.
I don't even know what to say.
And now Jean-Claude Van Damme is doing like Pringles commercials or something, Doritos commercials.
Yeah.
They're so queer too.
And he's alive because he's been punked. He got punked so many times by Boss Rutan and so many people.
Yeah,
because they pulled his card in real life, and he's just as phony as French. He's a ballet dancer. They taught some karate moves.
Yeah.
You know, he's got like a YMCA black belt with really good flexibility and a cocaine addiction.
But John Wick, Boogeyman
kicks some fucking ass.
He just kicks the shit out of him.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yep.
For sure. That brings us to Mason Storm versus Fei Hung.
The Drunken Master, Jackie Chan.
Versus Mason Storm, the best Steven Seagal character
and the hardest to kill of all.
The hardest to kill.
Yes.
And I went against Storm in the opening rounds against Martin Riggs. Martin Riggs took a backseat to Mason Storm, but I gotta go with Mason Storm on this one.
You're going Mason Storm?
I'm going Mason Storm against.
I'm taking the Drunken Master.
Are you? Full-blown barroom brawl at this point.
Yeah.
Pool cues.
It's fucking him with a pool cue and fucking Drunken Master with a fucking a thing of chopsticks. And actually, no.
You think it being in a barroom helps the Drunken Master? Because like Mason Storm hits him and he crashes into the
bar.
bar.
Unlimited supply.
Pours into his mouth.
I didn't consider it. Barroom. Think of a barroom fight, right? That he was in the original Drunken Master. I don't know if you remember seeing the original Drunken Master movie where he fucking oh no, that was the Legend of the Drunken Master where he breaks the bamboo pole and, and he covers himself in the fucking oil and he's like yeah. I'm taking fucking the Drunken Master. You like the cigar?
I think if if we put the fight in a bar,
yes,
I'm gonna go with Drunken Master. If we put the fight like
in the streets,
I'm going with Mason Storm. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, where is this fight? I'm gonna say
let's say bar, right? Because
these last two are the bar room.
One of the most famous fight scenes from Hard to Kill was in the bar.
That's true.
Let's say it's in the bar.
It's in the bar.
If it's in the bar, I will concede Fei Hung moves on to the final four.
Yeah.
As a dark horse.
As a dark horse, the Drunken Master is making his way through, which we weren't so sure. I mean, Jackie Chan, but I got mad love and respect for Jackie Chan.
He does all his own stunts.
He does all his own stunts. So he's bad. He's really fucking shit up. Like Steven Seagal's, running around like a girl.
Yeah, he's got a ponytail and everything. Yeah, wears a dress.
So I'm taking the Drunken Master, man. To
if we're in a bar,
a little bit of an upset. This is another.
I think Mason Storm comes out strong, kicks the shit out of him, but ultimately he's gonna throw him over the bar, and the bottle of Jack is gonna pour down into his mouth, and he's gonna go crazy.
Absolutely,
I love it.
Yeah,
love it.
Fei Hung,
Drunken Master moves on to the final fours, and now we have a problem with this. It was supposed to be Tyler Durden,
the dark horse, the upsetter
of Rocky Balboa versus Dalton of Roadhouse. But kind of like the UFC madness where shit went wrong, there was an injury, and there's been an injury, and I'm sorry to report, but Dalton has to pull.
Breaking news. Dalton was injured in an oiled up, shirtless kata warm-up session. Tore his LCL. He tripped on a banana peel. Him and Tony Ferguson tripped over cables while doing shirtless katas while kicking steel beams wearing sunglasses indoors.
Yes.
But we feel that we're going to bring back some love and some real good stuff.
Absolutely.
No, we're not bringing back Rocky Balboa.
No.
I'm sorry.
No, we can't. Rocky had his shot.
Shot.
But somebody was able to step up on a 1 week notice.
1 week notice, and he can make weight. And we have the man who has the glow. Bruce Leroy, the Last Dragon, has come to bestow us with his wisdom and power.
Show enough.
Fresh off of defeating Shonuff with the glow. And we have Tyler Durden versus the glow. I don't think it's a contest.
I don't think so either.
Here's the thing, too. Here's the mindset. He got so much publicity, Tyler Durden did, after the Balboa win, that he's kind of turned off by this whole bracketing thing anyways. He thinks we're kind of the fucking man, and Operation Chaos just can't go through with this fucking corporate agenda. He said, fuck you guys, and he just laid down and let fucking the Last Dragon pummel his fucking face into his mush.
That's it, man. He took a beating as a way of throwing the Steve Austin middle finger
Yes.
to the man.
And this was his. We've seen this happen in Fight Club.
And let me
where he
just
said,
say, Durden's done.
He's
He'll
done.
never fight with us
Ever
again.
again.
Ever.
Ever.
He's done after this stunt. To throw a fight, he's done with us.
Yeah.
I'm over him.
Yes.
I'm over him.
He didn't throw it, but he threw it for his cause. It wasn't there was no money involved here. He just said, pick a fight with a stranger and lose it. And he lost to the Last Dragon, who will move on in a surprise.
Yeah, but you got to have these things.
You gotta have these things.
It's good to have alternates. It's great that people step up. Bruce Leroy is the Iaquinta of the deathmatch fantasy tournament here.
Absolutely.
Good for him.
We were hesitant to put him in there originally because we were trying not to put anybody with special powers. So we were debating if Bruce Lee has some sort of special powers. Is he a superhero of any sort?
But is the glow a special power? I don't know. I don't think so. I think
It's just chi.
It's just
He caught a bullet with his teeth.
it's just cool, man.
Get it, but we would like your feedback here, though. Does he technically have superpowers? Because that was what was leaving him out of the original bracket to begin with, which I agree. I think he's just harnessing the chi of the fucking
swagger.
Swagger.
Martial swagger.
Hey, man, it makes total sense.
Martial swagger. I'm copywriting that right now. Martial swagger.
That I agree. That is
Martial swagger. And if that ever shows up in a movie or anything, you owe me royalties.
for sure.
For sure. So we got our final four. We got Walker versus Wick, which I love. It's gonna be awesome. Great. And we got the Drunken Master Fei Hung versus Bruce Leroy.
Bruce Leroy. After Tyler Durden said, "Fuck you guys," he said, "Self-improvement is masturbation."
Or something like that.
Said, the things you own start to own you.
Start to own you.
That's what happened through this Rocky thing. You guys gave him too much publicity, too much hype, and he said, "Fuck the man."
Your fault. Your fault. So I think we got a real good final four, but number one seed is still strong in it. The Boogeyman. Number one seed
John
is
Wick,
still in it, man.
with a number one from the other bracket, the Walker. I mean, Chuck Norris is never a number two.
Never count him out.
Yeah, he's never a number two. Even if he is a number two seed, he's never number two. So don't ever count him out. And then we have the Battle of the Kung Fu Masters in the final four. I mean, I don't think you can have a
fantasy tournament without Kung
Fu, for sure. It is the ultimate fantasy martial art.
And on that note, episode 3 comes to a close. We're going to be getting dojo stormed by Kung Fu Masters, which I welcome. I relish it. So thanks for that. That's like an early Christmas present. If a Kung Fu Master comes in because of that comment,
that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm going to put a bow on it and tell Tyler thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Episode 3 in the books, and episode 4 on the horizon.
Yeah.